All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. I'm a little busy today, so I'm only going to cover TLRY and CGC. I'm hoping to make another weed video in a couple days that actually confirms and is bigger and louder. I don't know what else to call it, all right? But there was a really interesting look at that. In a 15-minute span, we saw a monster pop on Tilray. In that same 15-minute span, we saw a monster pop on CGC, all right? And hey, we saw it literally at the same second. We actually kind of saw it on the group. And then there's some news I'm going to share, all right? So I don't know if you know who JD Vance is, but JD Vance is the Trump VP. He's officially the VP candidate. And he actually has some really good answers to this question right here. Do you support legalization? Yes. And you can see that most actually disagree with him regardless. That is JD Vance's vote right there. So we're guessing this is what what the news is. Hopefully we'll get a little bit of confirmation of that. But yeah, big 15-minute pop. And look, what time did this happen at? This happened around 3:30, all right? We were talking about the dude JD Vance, talking about the dude JD Vance pretty much around, look, I live on the West Coast, right? So that's basically 3:12, right before this 3:30 candle started to pop, right? So once Vance got hit, that kind of makes me start to actually believe this might have been the news headline and the why, all right? But really interesting day. You know I'm going to talk about the technical shortly, but as I always say it, we're not here for just one day. We need the confirmation tomorrow, and I'm hoping it'll pick the whole sector up again, all right? So excited to talk about all these for sure, but before we do go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we going to do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can, please subscribe to this channel. Share this video online with your friends. Comment good or bad if you disagree. Look, anything you can do helps so much with these YouTube algorithms. But for real, just being here, giving me your time, oh, I am so grateful for it, all right? So again, I want to cover all of them like I normally do. I'm just a little busy on this Monday, so we're going to look at these 2 for now. And then, like I said, I'm hoping this continues and holds, all right? So what happened today, all right? Let's take a look at the hourly chart, all right? So today is the 15th. You can see nothing was happening, nothing was happening, nothing was happening, nothing was happening. Each of these candles represents 1 hour, right? All of a sudden on the very last hour, and again, you can see why I always divide the volume number by 7, right? There's 7 candles on this hourly. The last hour just goes, and I started the video by showing it. It literally happened in a 15-minute moment, all right? And when we look at what happened in this 15-minute moment, the answer was Trump elected his VP, all right? So this is the dude. Trump names his VP. You can see that's basically 3:11, right? I'm West Coast, Eastern is 3 hours ahead. And then we see the pop, right? It happened just a little bit after our chat. Boom, boom. And all of a sudden we find this. So I'll share this link, all right? I don't really know how good this website is, all right? I have never heard of isidewith.com. I have no idea if this is an Ohio-specific website, if this is a national website. I don't even know if this is a BS fluff website, right? But there was a question, all right? And again, I'm assuming that this is real. I'm definitely going to do my homework and see if it really is or not, right? But JD Vance, again, the VP nominee, all right, answers, do you support legalization? Yes. Let's legalize, let's tax, and let's regulate instead of criminalizing it, all right? It's definitely least important in his importance list, right? So, hey, I think some stuff is worth keeping a perspective. But listen, Kamala Harris is the VP. Kamala Harris is what kick-started this recovery of weed when she said her headlines. The VP is important. And when it looks like the new VP, I don't want to say the new VP because obviously he might lose and we still don't know, and that's not what this video is about, right? But hey, we're now looking at a situation where if Biden wins, his VP is definitely pro, right? If Trump wins, it seems like his VP is pro. All right. Again, I want to stress this least importance. I think we actually kind of saw that a little bit with the debate as well, right? But hey, that's a good thing. And again, 15 minutes before the close on Tilray, 15 minutes on the close of CGC, right? And again, it all lines up to that like around 3 o'clock, which is 12 o'clock my time, the announcement, and then all of a sudden some people kind of finding this, spreading it around, and then we go from there, right? So I actually gave some thoughts, and I'm going to echo them. I'm going to echo them here, all right? I think CGC has a little bit more room to run. Tilray is closer to break them all and fly, and obviously I'm going to show that real quickly, but the indicators, right? It looks like CGC might have more gas. We're going to need Tilray to break some lines right now, all right? And I think with that, we'll transition into the technicals. Tilray is close, all right? Tilray, my last video, obviously before I had any idea who the VP was and all this, I basically said, look, I think we're probably going to come up to here. Let's see what happens. All right, I actually maybe even said we'll wick to that, but yeah, I really did not think we were to get over the 200 moving average. I just kind of assumed this was a really important support, brings us up to a good place, maybe we reject it. That was kind of my assumption. I think with this headline, all right, two things happen. Number one, look, it's not a lot. But again, you've got to remember this literally happened right at the end of the day, and the day was a bad day, right? Like let's look at the volume. No volume, no volume, no volume, no volume, no volume, no volume. On this last hour, 9.2 million shares came. On the full day, it was almost half of it came in the last hour. And again, we already know almost all of that actually came in a single 15-minute moment, right? So big volume at the end is actually going to start to make me maybe believe we're going to get some good volume tomorrow. And I've been saying it. We have been struggling to get over that 50-day average since right here, since the middle of May. And really, the only times we've been over it have either been pump and dumps or some pretty bad red days, right? So this is the moment where I'm starting to maybe think volume's going to change. And again, you know it. Volume is king. Volume is queen for my ladies out there, right? So Tilray, I like it. Again, my concern, 74 is a relatively high number. And look, I'm about to talk about CGC, but CGC is only at 52. 52 makes me believe there's some room to break this 100, and there's some room to get to this 50, and hey, maybe even a little more. We'll see, right? But again, Tilray, you know I love it when a stock breaks them all and flies, right? This thing has tried to but couldn't hold, tried to but couldn't hold, tried to but couldn't hold, tried to but couldn't hold. Look, you can only attack a line so many times before the strength of that line diminishes. I normally say around that fourth or fifth one is around that time, right? And hey, look, that's one that, I mean, you can count a little bit more than 4 and 5 here, right? So this seems legit. I don't know if we're going to blast off to this 270. What I'm really hoping for, look, we get over it, lose it. 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 I would really be okay getting over it, coming back to it, holding, never going below, holding the 200 moving average, and then go, because that would help us take this 70 to like an 80. When we come back down, maybe we bring it back down to a 60, and then we rip. All right, so healthy, cool day. Let me pause real quick. Let me draw this up. Give me a second. Okay, I'm back. What I did was I took a screenshot of the Tilray chart, right? We get, like, all we're talking about right now is, I feel like John Madden right now. We're talking about this purple line. We get over it, and then boom, we lose it. We get over it, and then boom, we lose it. We get over it, and boom, over, boom. Like a hot knife through butter 4 of the last 4 times. Give me the ability to go up come down and hold it, either hold it here, maybe even hold it here, and then we rip, all right? That would be good, because again, 74 is a little bit on the higher on the RSI side, right? So that's what I'm looking for. Make me believe this 200 is going to be a friendly line. Oh, break all 5 and fly is all I can think about, all right? Hey, it wasn't that long ago. I was really, really worried about having to talk about that 151 line. I like that I'm starting to think about 2. Listen, do not have $3 dreams yet, all right? We're still in the we got to escape, we got to break, we got to believe we've escaped, all right? So hopefully we start talking about the 2s. We just need a little bit more, all right? So when wrong button. When I come into CGC, I like CGC just a little bit more, and it's actually all about the indicators, all right? To me, look, I love it when you can break all 5 and fly. It's one of my favorite rhymes in these videos that I make. It's on par with red, green, all right? When there's a good When there's a good channel, that's something to consider. And look, I'm gonna delete these lines, but right there is the 100, right there is the 50. All I'm seeing in these 2 lines is green, red, green, red. Like, this is a super fast up and down. You're adding almost $1 on I don't know what 1/7 is. I can't really do that math in my head very quickly, but hey, that's not bad. You're adding $1 on a stock that only has $7, right? From there, if we can get to the 50 and over it, obviously there's bigger reds, and it's kind of the same thing with Tilray. Please don't think about $13. This is a $7 stock right now, right? Let's set some expectations and go from there. Again, this one didn't quite do the volume hit we saw with Tilray, but same story. We've been under, pump and dump, under, pump and dump, under, pretty much since April. All right, this is kind of the first moment where I think maybe tomorrow we're going to get over the line. Because again, let's do it the other way around. Today we had 6 million shares, all right? In the last hour, we had 5.6 of that 6. Like, literally all but 1 million shares came in that last hour. Let's look at this thing. And really, it was basically in a 30-minute span of that 6. You know what I mean? So volume is king. Make me believe volume's coming. It looks like this one's going up a little bit after hours. You know, after hours isn't the most important thing for me, but yeah, Tilray, are you going up after hours? You're holding. And again, I think that goes back to just, this is one of those things where the indicators are just a little hot, and sometimes you gotta put that into perspective, all right? So I'll cover the rest of the stocks later this week. I'm just a little busy. I do apologize. You know I appreciate you so much.